Hello, folks. We're doing lesson 200 today. Welcome to Sulma and Samir and whoever else might get here later on. And to be able to do this in about an hour, we will go ahead and read two paragraphs at a time. So I'll go ahead and read the first two. Lesson 200. There is no peace except the peace of God. Paragraph 1. Seek you no further. You will not find peace except the peace of God. Accept this fact and save yourself the agony of yet more bitter disappointments, bleak despair, and sense of icy hopelessness and doubt. Seek you no further. There is nothing else for you to find except the peace of God, unless you seek for misery and pain. This is the final point to which each one must come at last, to lay aside all hope of finding happiness where there is none, of being saved by what can only hurt, of making peace of chaos, joy of pain, and heaven out of hell. Attempt no more to win through losing, or die to live. You cannot but be asking for the defeat. That's the end of paragraph 2. And what I see here is mainly the way to achieve the peace of God is to simply practice aligning with the mind of God. And so the mind of God is love, okay? And love has numerous expressions, such as kindness, compassion, charity, joy, peace, healing, hope. And so anytime you are aligning with the mind of God, that's when you achieve true peace. Anytime you are aligning with any of love's expressions, that's when you achieve true peace. Anytime you're doing the opposite of what love's expressions are, or entertaining love, the opposite of what love is, then you'll never receive the peace that you truly desire, because that's only false peace. Like let's say you're judging a person because you think they did X or Y wrong. Okay, that judgment the ego might say, yeah, you're right to judge that person, right? But what you truly want is peace. So there's two questions to ask yourself always, and as they're this: what do I want? Is question number one, and question number two is, what do I really want? Okay, so the ego, according to the course, always answers first and loudest. Okay, so the ego is going to tell you, I want to judge this person because this person does not think like me. Okay, then you go, okay, that's judgment is of the ego. That's a tool of the ego. Okay, that's not what I'm here for. That's not what's going to bring me peace. What do I really want? I really want peace. So how do I get to peace when I'm judging? I get to peace through the act of forgiveness. And so forgiveness leads me to peace. And so I always recommend asking yourself those two questions, because the ego always answers first and loudest. Any comments or questions in the first two paragraphs?
And where do we place the boundaries, or to yes, be forgiving and kind, but the person might be shooting at us with their words, for example.
I'm sorry, what's your question?
The person may be shooting at us with their words, so right. They're not bringing us peace. They're with what they're saying.
Okay, remember, there's what they're saying, correct? And then there's how you're defining what they're saying. Okay, so it's not what they're saying that's taking away your peace of mind. It's how you're defining what they're saying that's taking away your peace of mind. And that's actually good news, because that shows the power to change resides within you, not anywhere out there. And so whenever people are saying something that's less than loving in nature, they're saying nothing to you, because nothing apart from love is real. And so no matter what they say, if it's not loving in nature, if it does not come from love, it is absolutely meaningless. And you just say, oh, okay, that's how they're feeling. I just love them for who they are.
And the Course tells us that we're never upset for the reasons that we think. I say we're upset because we're thinking in the first place. What's happening out there is not what I'm upset about. What I'm upset about is what I'm thinking about what's happening out there. So somebody is saying whatever, and I'm thinking, oh, why are they talking to me like that? Well, they shouldn't be talking to me like that. That's what's bothering me. It's not what they're saying, because what's coming out of them is what's in them. That's how it's written elsewhere. What's coming out of them is what's in them. I just have to hold on to the truth. That's really okay. It could be that they may be having a bad day or whatever it is. It has nothing to do with you, with me. It has nothing to do with me. What's coming out of them is what's in them. It's never what's happening out there. It's what I think about what's happening out there. And as James just said, there's two things happening. It's them saying something, and it's me thinking about what they're saying. And it's the thoughts that are bothering me, not what they're actually saying. That's what I get.
Yeah, and remember, there's kind of like two parts to every human. One is real and one is not.
Mm-hmm.
And so the truth in every person can only love you. And so you always want to listen to only what the truth in them is saying. There's a part of them that's not true. That's a part of the ego's programming. And so you don't want to pay attention to the lies of the ego. The lies of the ego are just lies. They're just its own little defense mechanism. You just want to go past the delusion and see only the truth in them as true. See only the love in them as true. And when you see only the truth in them as true, the love in them as true, guess what? You have peace. And remember, you're worthy of peace as God's child in creation. And remember also that you're always just one little choice away from peace in any situation. No matter what anybody says, no matter how challenging or dark your situation may be, no matter how much the ego tries to complicate things or confuse or bring chaos, you're always just one choice away from peace.
Mm-hmm.
And as one of the lessons in the Course says, I can choose peace instead of this.
Peace instead of this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Any more comments or questions for the first two paragraphs? Samir, would you like to read 3 and 4?
Yes.
Okay.
Yet you can ask as easily for love, for happiness, and for eternal life in peace that has no ending. Ask for this, and you can only win. To ask for what you have already must succeed. To ask that what is false to be true can only fail. Forgive yourself for vain imaginings, and seek no longer what you cannot find. For what could be more foolish than to seek and seek and seek again for hell, when you have but to look with open eyes to find that heaven lies before you through a door that opens easily to welcome you? Come home. You have not found your happiness in foreign places and in alien forms that have no meaning to you, though you sought to make them meaningful. This world is not where you belong. You are a stranger here, but it is given you to find the means whereby the world no longer seems to be a prison house or jail for anyone.
Okay. Paragraph 4, sentence 2. You have not found your happiness in foreign places and in alien forms. Okay, Christ is talking about the ego's mindset. Anything that's supporting of the ego's mindset will never bring you the peace that you want, no matter how much it tries to convince you, the ego tries to convince you otherwise. And so one of the comments in the Course is search, but do not find. That's the ego's language. And so no matter where the ego has you search, you're never going to find what you truly desire, which is the peace and joy of God, which is what you came here to experience, radiate, shine, share, and enjoy. And so if you're not obtaining or experiencing the peace and joy of God, then know that you're searching somewhere where there is no peace and the mindset and world. Any
I've
comments?
Yeah, I've heard it. I've seen it written. There's no such thing as God and so to just even that, to think that there's something outside of the truth, because that's, there's only the truth and nothing really. We call it lies, we call it false, we call it illusion, but it's just not there. I call it the boogeyman. It's that darkness. There's no such thing as the boogeyman. And to try to find what's not there can only cause pain. It's like you say, it's seek and do not find, and that's all it continues to be. I'm looking for something that's just not there. Um, and to forgive myself is basically be willing to just let it go, to release it, because it's not there now. It's, in that moment I was feeling whatever I was feeling, and today I'm seeing, well, that was what was happening back then. That's not happening now. So if I'm still holding on to it, I'm holding on to something that's not there. I'm causing myself pain with something that's not there. That's what I get out of that.
Yeah, because imagine God is love and all, right? So the opposite of all is not fear. The opposite of all is nothing.
Nothing.
And so therefore the opposite of love is not fear. The opposite of love is nothing.
Nothing.
And so if you're feeling something other than love, then you're feeling something that you've been programmed to feel by the ego. Not that it's true. You might be feeling it because you've been programmed to feel it, but it's not real or true. It's unworthy of you. And so all you have to do is remind yourself, being God's child and creation, I am worthy of my Father's inheritance. And my Father's inheritance is all of love's expressions. And therefore, I am forever worthy of all of love's expressions. I'm forever worthy of peace and joy and compassion and kindness and charity and hope and healing and health. I'm forever worthy of them because those are my inheritance. And only what God created is real. Nothing else is real. Only the truth is real. Only the truth is true. To sentence number 3, paragraph 3, to ask for what you have already must succeed. And so simply ask Source for the peace that is your inheritance in any situation. Again, I can have peace instead of this. And then sentence number 4, to ask what is false be true can only fail. And so that's again, seek but do not find. Whatever the ego has you seek, it will never bring you what you truly desire. And sentence number 3 of paragraph 4. This world is not where you belong. You are a stranger here. I love that.
What does that mean?
Okay, imagine oneness and then duality. Okay, this is a world of duality. You don't belong here. You belong in oneness, and you were created to bring oneness into duality, so that people can wake up to recall that there is no true duality. There's only oneness. And so you were created to be a light within the darkness. And when you shine your light, the darkness disperses and disappears and dissolves away. And so you belong at one with the mind of God. And when you choose love over fear, compassion over condemnation, then you bring heaven to earth, or the hellish mindset.
If I
What
can
about
speak
all?
to that, if I can speak to that, I always look at it as we're all of the same source, one source, one source, and it's not something that we can see, hear, smell, taste, or touch. It's not a tangible thing. It's not a tangible thing. And to think that what I can see is real, or what I can smell is real, or what I can taste or feel or hear is real, for me to think that that's where I belong, that's temporary. What I am in truth, what we are in truth, is eternal. So this physical plane It's just temporary. Yeah, enjoy its pleasures. You were talking about some here. You were talking about as far as business and stuff. Enjoy its pleasures, but know that they are temporary, because as fast as they can, like as fast as they can make you feel good, they can turn around and quote hurt you too. But that's not you. That's not what we are. What we are, our essence, the essence of what we are, is all one. It's all from the same source, and that we can't deny.
Amen. Someone would like to read 5 and 6.
Freedom is given you where you beheld but chains and iron doors. But you must change your mind about the purpose of the world if you would find escape. You will be bound till all the world is seen by you as blessed, and everyone made free of your mistakes and honored as he is. You made him not, no more yourself. And as you free the one, the other is accepted as he is. What does forgiveness do? In truth, it has no function and does nothing, for it is unknown in heaven. It is only hell where it is needed and where it must serve a mighty function. Is not the escape of God's beloved Son from evil dreams that he imagines, yet believes are true, a worthy purpose? Who would hope for more while there appears to be a choice to make between success and failure, love and fear?
Yes, the Course calls forgiveness the last illusion. It's the last illusion because it doesn't create more illusions, and so the Course also says that God does not condemn because he has never judged, and so there is no judgment and truth. And forgiveness you only need in this duality. You only need forgiveness to release yourself from the other illusions. Let's say I judge. Judgment is an illusion of the ego, is a tool of the ego. The way to release myself from that tool is forgiveness. Or hate. I have to forgive myself for my misperceptions. So any of the ego's tools, forgiveness usually is a pretty good tool to release you from them. But if you do not believe in the ego's duality, in this world's duality, in the ego's delusions, then you never need forgiveness, because there's nothing to forgive. There's nothing ever to forgive in reality. It's only when you believe the delusion as real that you need the tool of forgiveness.
That's a good point. The only thing that I have to forgive is the belief that it was supposed to be different than the way it is. I thought that you were supposed to, how could you say that to me? You weren't supposed to talk to me like that. That thought, that's what I have to forgive. The belief that it was supposed to be different than the way it is. One of the workbook lessons teaches, let all things be exactly as they are. And that all things, another workbook lesson says that all things are lessons that God would have us learn. All things are just lessons for me to look at how I'm seeing it, to remember that, as the workbook lessons teach, that I'm not the victim of the world I see. I'm not the victim of your words or the actions of what's happening out there or what somebody's saying or what somebody's doing. I'm not the victim of that. My worth has already been established by God. Because remember, I'm not this body. I'm not this body. If I think I'm a body, then yes, I'm a victim and everything is bad and everything is wrong. But as I begin to engage with God, as the Course says, to remember my oneness with God, to remember that I am, it says that God is part of me, that I am part of God. As I continue to remember that it's just the way I think about things. It's never ever the things, and my judgments are just my beliefs. And in the middle of the word belief is a L-I-E. In the middle of belief is always a lie. It's always a lie. It's just the way I think, and the way I think, there's no right or wrong. Of course, I ask, do I want to be right? Do I want to be happy? I'd rather be happy.
Yes, anytime you judge, what you are unconsciously doing is judging God as wrong. And so that produces guilt, unconscious guilt. And so that's the burden that you carry within whenever you decide to lack faith in the divine design. If you trust in the divine design, if you trust that God, being perfect love, has co-created your journey with you, and therefore God, being perfect love, has co-created their journeys with them, then everybody's journey is perfect for them. Okay? So when you see that everybody's person, when you see and believe that everybody's journey is perfect for them, you have no need to judge them, and therefore you live in the state of peace. You walk hand in hand with peace and mercy and grace, if you have three hands. But yeah. So the practice, your practice, our practice should be: let me practice trusting in the divine design. Anytime I lack peace, that is simply saying to myself that I do not have faith in God's divine design. And I'm never going to be at peace if I don't have faith in God's divine design. Never. And so I don't have to punish myself for being out of alignment with the mind of God. I simply have to practice recognizing quicker and quicker when my mind is out of alignment with the mind of God. And so even the darkness here in this world is helping you practice going from the delusion of the ego's mindset and world to being in alignment with the mind of God. So let's say you judge your brother or sister, okay? You're out of alignment, right? But then you remember, oh, wait, judgment, if I'm judging, that means I'm judging God. I don't want to judge God. I want to be at peace. So I'm going to go ahead and forgive my misperceptions of the situation, my brothers and sisters. I'm going to return to peace. And I'm going to practice using this moment to trust the divine design. And the more you get to practice letting go of the delusion of this world and practice trusting in the divine design, the more and more peace you will have. And more you'll feel like, you know what? Right here, at one with the mind of God, trusting in the divine design, being non-judgmental, offering mercy and grace to everyone God sends my way. Yes, that's where I belong. And that's what we should practice in every interaction and in every moment. If you're at peace, you're trusting in the divine design. If you're not at peace, you're not trusting in the divine design. But again, don't punish yourself for that. Just recognize what's happening and come back to center. Come back to love. Any other questions or comments in those two paragraphs? All right.
When it says, while there appears to be a choice made between success and failure, love and fear. So it's basically, Course is telling us to, what does it mean when it says make a choice between success and failure? Say success and failure is basically whether you choose love or fear, which is love, the mind of God, and fear is mind of ego.
Okay. Who could hope, sentence number 6, paragraph 6?
Mm-hmm.
Who could hope for more while there appears to be a choice to be make between success and failure, love and fear? Okay, there's at the highest level there's a falsity of belief in choice. When you're choosing in alignment with the mind of God, you're always going to have peace, and when you're not, you're always going to be lacking peace. And so there's a choice to be made between success and failure, love and fear. I think this is a question mark.
Mm-hmm.
Evil dreams. Sentence number 5: it is not the escape of God's beloved Son from evil dreams that he imagines, yet beliefs are true, a worthy purpose. Who could hope for more while there appears to be a choice to make between success and failure, love and fear? Okay, so you always think there is a choice to be made, but in reality, you don't want that choice. You don't want to make choices. You just want to follow God's lead, and God leads you always to success and always to love. And so because only the truth is true, right? So only what leads you to love is true. So if love is, let's say, an expression of love is success, and an expression of the ego's mindset is failure, right? Failure cannot be real or true because it comes from the ego. And so you think you can fail, but in reality, remember, there's all and there's nothing. So there's success and there's nothing. It's not success and failure. It's success and nothing. It's not love and fear. It's love and nothing. And so the ego says, hey, you have a choice between these two. But the Holy Spirit reminds you, there's this choice and there's nothing.
That's a good point. And what you focus on expands. If you're focused on failure, guess what? Focus on what you want. The course asks, what for? That's a question we should always ask ourselves. What for? What purpose is this serving? And to just move in the direction. If success is what you're seeking, then that's all you can have, because that's the only direction you can go in. Remembering too that there's always the things that get us there, like, the light bulb. It took 1,000 tries to get it. The 999 were not failures. They were just steps towards getting toward the goal. So, and that's just the only way to look at it. And always keep focusing on the goal. Focus on what you want, and never on what you don't want, because what you don't want isn't real anyway. Focus only on what you want. You can't go wrong. Remembering that always, I'm in God. I am in God. I am in God. I am part of God. And just keep on focusing solely on what you want. Solely on what you want. Because only what is, which is what James was just saying. There's success, there's love, there's truth, and nothing. Nothing. Focus solely on what you want.
Yeah, and when the ego's trying to convince you about failure, just remind yourself, okay, God is perfection, right? Perfection can only create perfectly. And you are God's creation. So no matter what anybody says in your life, remember only that you are God's creation, and therefore you are perfect. No matter what anybody else says, no matter what your own ego says. Because remember, what your ego says is not true. It's not real. And so just remind yourself and be at peace, knowing that you can only succeed and that you have only ever been a success.
So why do we have the ego?
Well, the Course says there was a moment in creation where we thought we might be apart from, that there was something other than God, other than love. And in that moment, we forgot to laugh. And because we forgot to laugh, this world was created. And then this world is free will. And so we bought into the little stories we told ourselves that were in opposition to love. And so this programming that we've been taught ourselves, we sometimes call it the ego. And so the ego is there as simply as a virus that we picked up. But in reality, it's not real or true. But again, you can use remember that God can use all for good. And so the God can even use your ego thoughts for good. It can help you see them that, you know what? Okay, I judge this person. That's not what I want. Okay, now I judge this person again. Guess what? You spend less time in that judgment because you've learned from your past. And so the ego itself is a self-destructive mechanism, because the more you use it, the more you see how useless it truly is in your life.
I was thinking maybe the ego is there because it's a way it's helping us as a tool to get us closer to God. Why would we want to get, how would we get closer to God? By making a choice between ego and God, but you have to have the choice to get there. So it's like, okay, this is the choice you made. How well is it going for you? Not really well. Well, here's another choice, and you can make that choice. And that choice will get close. And that's the purpose of the soul, is to grow and then eventually merge with God. So the purpose of the ego could be to help you get close to God if you, in a way, try to separate yourself, or choose what it's doing for you, and you can choose something else. Like, Petro said, choose again. So the first choice is the ego, and then you can second choice. But you need make the first choice to make the second choice.
That's a good point. So the course teaches that the ego and the Holy Spirit are just a decision. It's a thought system. It's a thought system. And based on what you're saying, I heard someone say, be thankful for your triggers, because they show you where you need to, where your stuff is. And those triggers are ego based. So that's kind of agreeing with what's going on with what you're saying. So it helps me see where I need to grow. It helps me see where I'm seeing things, not seeing things the way they are. So, in that regard, how it came to be. The course also teaches that that's one of those circular questions. We can ask that question all day long and keep ourselves in confusion. And confusion is an ego tactic. So it's a thought system. The ego and the Holy Spirit are both a decision. That's what the course says. It's a decision. So you get to decide. Do I decide for peace or not? That's really what it comes down to. Do I decide for peace or not? Um, and the course also teaches that it's only our allegiance to the ego that keeps it real. That's what makes it real. We give it power by feeding this thing. Oh, I'm in distress. I'm in distress. I can't get out of it. I can't get out of it. Oh, wait. That's the ego thought system telling me that I'm weak, that there is no God, that I'm all alone in this world, and that is where that thinking again, choosing again comes in. That's the way I see that.
Lovely, yes. I'm going to go ahead and read 7 and 8. There is no peace except the peace of God, because he has one Son who cannot make a world in opposition to God's will. That's what we were talking about. And to his own, which is the same as his. What could he hope to find in such a world? It cannot have reality, because it never was created. It is here that he would seek for peace. Is it here that he would seek for peace? Or must he see that, as he looks on it, the world can but deceive? Yet he can learn to look on it another way and find the peace of God. Peace is the bridge that everyone will cross to leave this world behind. But peace begins within the world perceived as different, and leading from this fresh perception to the gate of heaven and the way beyond. Peace is the answer to conflicting goals, to senseless journeys, frantic, vain pursuits, and meaningless endeavors. Now the way is easy, sloping gently towards the bridge where freedom lies within the peace of God. And so sentence number 1 of paragraph 7, the second part. Because he has one Son who cannot make a world in opposition to God's will. And so it's just saying that the world that the ego created is not truly real. It can be real if you're still dreaming, but it's not real if you're awake. And so the course talks about having the happy dream. And so whenever you're aligned with a mindset that's something other than love, know that you're trying to create a world that can never be created. And like Sulma said, if you invest your time, focus, and energy into the delusion, into the dream is going to appear real. But that's good news, because if you take your time, focus, and energy away from the delusion dissolves before your light and understanding. And so the power resides within you, not out there. I love sentence number 1 of paragraph 8. Peace is the bridge that everyone will cross to leave this world behind. And so if you're at peace, you have left the ego's world. So if you're at peace, you know what? Pat yourself on the back. Because at least for a moment, you have left the ego's world. At least for a moment, you have woken up from the dream. And so at least for a moment, you're being and representing God's vision for you on earth. You're fulfilling your purpose as the light of the world that God created you to be. And therefore, if you have peace, you will feel fulfilled, because you will be fulfilling your mission as the light of the world, as the beacon of peace for all those brothers who are still dreaming the dream as real. Any other comments or questions?
Just extending on what you said, that it is what we are. Peace is what we are. We are that. And starting from that point, because that second sentence in paragraph 8, it says, but peace begins within the world perceived as different. So we're figuring it out right here, as you were saying something about the ego. You know, we're figuring it out right here. It's like, oh wait, I can see peace instead of this. Oh, there's another way of looking at this. I invented this thing. I don't have to see it this way. Oh, and when you get it that one time, you realize, oh, I can get that again and again and again. I heard TRUST, trust is to rely upon spirit totally. To get that, to get in sync with, oh wait, I can see the peace instead of this. Oh, I can see peace there. Or I can see peace there. And it applies to, if it can apply to this thing, it can apply to anything, because all these things are just things, and they are ego tactics to say that this is bigger, this is smaller, this is better, this is worse. No. It's all the same. It's all the same. I can see peace anywhere because I am the peace. I'm bringing me with it. I'm bringing my God self with it. That's what I got. Yeah.
Yeah. So in any moment or situation or event, peace is always available, because peace is the only thing that truly is there. And so again, no matter what the ego story is that's blanketing your vision of peace, it's just a little veil that you have to lift. No matter how dark and challenging it is, it's just a little veil that you lift. Oh, and look, peace is there. And so peace is in every situation and interaction. It's always there, available to you. You just have to look its way. You just have to look and say, you know what? I'm worthy of peace. And therefore I can choose peace instead. And God created me to be a beacon of peace for others. And so that is what I will choose, no matter what my ego is saying to me.
Mm-hmm.
Samir, would you like to read 9 and 10?
Yes. Let us not lose our way again today. We go to heaven, and the path is straight. Only if we attempt to wander can there be delay and needless wasted time on thorny byways. God alone is sure, and He will guide our footsteps. He will not desert His Son in need, nor let him stray forever from His home. The Father calls, the Son will hear, and that is all there is to what appears to be a world apart from God, where bodies have reality. Now, is there silence? Seek no further. You have come to where the road is carpeted with leaves of false desires fallen from the trees of hopelessness you sought before. Now are they under foot, and you look up and on toward heaven with the body's eyes, but serving from an instant longer now. Peace is already recognized at last, and you can feel its soft embrace surround your heart and mind with comfort and with love.
Yes. Sentence number 1 of paragraph 9. Let us not lose our way again today. We go to heaven and the path is straight. Only if we attempt to wander can there be delay. That's amazing. Only if we attempt to wander can there be delay. And so it's saying, listen, there's only peace. There is only peace. But, you have free will. You can think that there's something other than peace. And so you can wander on the ego's thorny path as long as you want. But it's only a delay. Your journey and your destination is assured. Is assured by God. The cross has been overcome. And so your destination is assured. There's nothing you have to worry about. This is not a rat race. You don't have to be there by 8 p.m. tomorrow night. You don't have to be at the finish line of peace by 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Whatever time and you need is fine. It's all good. But it is your choice. It's your choice to delay. Peace is available to you right now. Peace is available to you in every situation and in every interaction. It is only you who delay that recognition by deciding to choose to look through the ego's tools and use the ego's tools, such as those of judgment of self and others, anger, hatred, frustration, regret, shame, guilt. If you go into those paths, yeah, you'll delay, but that's okay. You'll delay, and sooner or later you'll get tired of that thorny path, and then you'll choose once again, and once again you'll have peace. Comments or questions?
Basically, we need to go through that rough patch to realize what we are going through to get to the path we really want.
You don't have to.
We have the choice.
Yeah.
If you want, yeah, we have the choice.
Yeah. But even if you go down those thorny paths, have you ever gone through a forest and there's little things on the grass that kind of like stick in you, like little star with little pointy things? There's only so much you can walk on that path before you say, hey man, I'm done with this path. Let me find another way. And so yeah, you can go ahead and choose these other paths, but it's only delaying. It's only a delay maneuver by the ego. Your destination is already assured.
That's a good one. Of course, it says that tolerance for pain may be high, but it's not without limit.
Yeah, exactly. Tolerance for pain may be high, but it's not without limit.
Sooner or later, you realize there must be a better way. And once you get that realization, like, oh, okay, and then you follow that path. And we were talking about success earlier, realizing that we're not seeking success. We are a success. We are that. We are that. And that's the starting point. It's talking about we go to heaven. The Course teaches that the kingdom of heaven is us. We are the kingdom of we are the kingdom of heaven. We are success. We are God in action. We are that. And holding on to that. The Course says that the habit of engaging with God, engaging, like you would in a relationship, engaging with God and engaging with God. And yeah, we go this way. Oh, okay, I'm coming back again. The sleep of forgetfulness is the unwillingness to remember. That's what it says at the end of chapter 16. The sleep of forgetfulness is the unwillingness to remember. It's like we think that, oh, what's the point? Okay, yeah, that was fine. Oh, yeah, I heard all that James said and Zuma said, and what I said during, we talked about this. That's all fine and good. But now I'm getting back to the real world. That's our mistake. To think that the real world is the stuff that we can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. That's the mistake. That's when we're leaving our true self. We're trying to go outside of ourselves and seek for something that's not there. That's back to that seek and do not find. And it says there in paragraph 10, seek no further. It's right here. We are the kingdom, starting from right here. The Father and I are one. Right there. Right there.
Yes, do not search outside for what resides within. And so, yes, peace. You are peace. Sulma, would you like to finish with number 11?
Sure. Today we seek no idols. There it is. Today we seek no idols. Peace cannot be found in them. The peace of God is ours, and only this will we accept and want. Peace be to us today, for we have found a simple, happy way to leave the world of ambiguity and to replace our shifting goals and solitary dreams with single purpose and companionship. For peace is union, if it be of God. We seek no further. We are close to home, and to draw still nearer every time we say, there is no peace except the peace of God, and I am glad and thankful it is so.
That's beautiful. And so, yes, tonight before you go to sleep, try it, memorize this last part right here. There is no peace except the peace of God, and I am glad and thankful it is so. And do that for like 10 minutes in a meditation or prayer before you go to sleep. And just when you're saying it, just start to feel it. Start to feel the peace of God falling on you and washing away all your troubles and all your delusions and all your difficulties, perceived difficulties, and just allow the peace of God to wash over you. And remind yourself always that you're worthy of the peace of God, because peace is God's inheritance and you are his child in creation. So whenever anything comes to your mind that's starting to block that peace, just remember, peace is my inheritance. And then feel the peace of God descending upon you. Feel the peace of God flowing through you. Feel it feel it on your skin, and then feeling going into your skin and into your bones. And feel it going into your organs and into your heart, and like waves of peace. Like if you're on a beach, sitting on a beach, and the waves are coming in, and you're right at that side where the water just touches you, and then you feel wave after wave of peace, and remember that you're worthy of that peace, and just absorb it and absorb it and absorb it for those 10 minutes. Absorb that peace, and then offer your gratitude to God, and send waves of gratitude to God for your peace. And so you absorb peace, you breathe in peace, and then you breathe out your gratitude to God. You breathe in peace, and you breathe out your gratitude to God. And you keep doing that. You breathe in peace, and you feel those waves of peace coming into you. And then you breathe out your gratitude to God, and you feel those waves, and feel and visualize those waves going out to that light. And God absorbing your gratitude for him. And when you do that, keep doing that, and let's see what happens. Oh man,
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I felt it when you said on my skin. I'm like, oh, that's embodying it. Because again, to recognize that we really are that we really are that. Whatever that stuff we've been told, we really are that. That's phenomenal. And the course teaches that we're not, it's not saying that stuff isn't going to come. It's just saying that we're asked just not to hold on to it. Oh, it's going to come. Stuff is going to, we just asked not to hold on to it. I can always see peace instead of this. Mm,
yeah, and
mm.
definitely feel it surrounding you and embracing you, and it's warmth, and it's a loving embrace, and remember you're worthy of it. So try it.
Thank you for that.
Any final comments or questions before we close?
It was a very good lesson. Things are it's very logical as in explaining its point of view. I got a lot out of it.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, so did I. Well, thank you so much. It was great to have you here today.
Thank you so much. I enjoy it very much. And how often do you meet?
Well, I do my material, which is the chosen to remember material. I do that on Monday nights at 7 p.m. from 7 to 8. And then I do the Course in Miracles material from 7 to 8 p.m. on Wednesdays, every Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could probably show up every other Monday. I do have your book. You have chosen to remember. I do have your book. It's over there. So, all right. Okay. All right. I'm on your mailing list.
Beautiful.
Perfect. Perfecto. Perfecto.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording.